Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of our journey to 100K in crypto. So if you're new to this series, if this is the first time on the channel or seeing one of my videos, first of all, welcome and thanks for watching. I appreciate you taking your time to watch this video. And what I'm simply doing through this particular series is sharing three of my crypto wallets. And our goal is to get to 100K in crypto. So I'm just going to be sharing what that journey is like, the ups and downs, when the market is good, when the market is bad, and also maybe sharing some of my insights after having been in the crypto industry or invested in crypto for a few years now. So this is wallet one of my three wallets that I typically share. And we've had a bit of a recovery today. In my last video, the market did experience a pullback recently, and this wallet was down to about $21,000 US. We've had a high of $25,000 US on this wallet, but with the way the market has been over the past week or so, the wallet came down significantly. But you can see that we're slightly back up today. We're up $245, an increase of 1%. So, it looks like the market might recover, which would be a good thing for us. I'm not actively buying crypto right now on these wallets. So I am buying, but I'm only buying a little bit at a time now. And I only buy typically for my smaller wallet, my last wallet, which I will still show you in this video. But what I'm trying to do now is just to experience the journey up. I'm hoping that we're going to go into the bull cycle and see some significant upside to the cryptos that I'm holding. And I just want to enjoy that ride up because I've accumulated quite a bit when the market was lower. I think the last time I bought Bitcoin, it was still sitting around 60,000. I may have bought some at around 80,000, but I think most of the crypto most of the crypto that I hold, or most of the Bitcoin that I hold, I've had since it was around 60,000. So we have about just shy of 13,000 in Bitcoin, around 5,000 in Ethereum, about 3,000 in XRP, and about 1,000 in BNB, and a little bit of XLM in this wallet. Let's check out wallet number 2, which would be this one. And this one was down to about 17,000 around last week. And today we're back up to 18,720. And I'm going to say at this point, some people would have been scared when the market pulled back and may have sold. And I hope that wasn't you, because this is the ups and downs. And if you're going to be in crypto, you got to be ready for those ups and downs. You got to prepare your mind for it, and you can't be fazed by it because it's normal. When I first got into crypto was around the time when the FTX crashed. That was really scary because everything went down significantly. We're talking about like a 90% pullback, and that was quite frightening. And during that period, I'll tell you a little bit about how I got into crypto. So somebody introduced me to one of these platforms, right, where you're supposed to be able to deposit your crypto. They trade on your behalf, and they give you, X% a week in returns, right? So I was skeptical initially, but I thought I'd give it a try because the person recommending it said they've been doing it for years, or at least a year or two. So I gave it a try, and initially everything was good. I was seeing 3% a week on my money, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Until it wasn't, until one day the company disappeared, and along with it, our money. And I learned a valuable lesson after that experience, and then after that, once you get into that world, I got into a few of those, and I lost money on about, if I'm honest, I would say at least 5 to 10 platforms I lost money on, trying to chase these promises of fixed returns. And then one day the light bulb kind of went on, because at the same time, now that I was in crypto, I'd been introduced to it, and I started taking an interest in it, and I started studying the price movement. And I realized that if I had just bought and held Bitcoin instead of getting involved in all of these fake platforms that promised me 3% a week, 5% a week, 10% a week, or whatever, if I just bought and held Bitcoin, I would have been better off. I would have been much better off. I would have had complete control of my money, because these platforms, you have to send your crypto to the platforms, right? And then they hold it on the platforms for you, telling you it's safe. And then, every week they show you how your money's grown, and you made $200 this week, you made $300 this week, and you see your account growing on the screen, and you're getting excited, but it's just numbers on the screen because you don't have control over it. And eventually it gets to a point where you're trying to withdraw your crypto, and then you can't. They start coming up with excuses. That's when you know you've been scammed. But during that experience, I realized, and the light bulb went on. If I just bought and held, I would be better off. And that's what I started doing. And a lot of times, because we are in a rush to want to make money, to want to get wealthy, to get out of the rat race, to improve ourselves, and to be able to have the freedom to live the kind of life that we want, we get scammed. Give me a second. Just take a sip of this coffee. So we end up getting scammed, right? Because we're in a rush to get rich. So a valuable lesson: don't be in a rush to get rich. Warren Buffett said something. He said the stock market is a tool that the patient used to get money from the impatient, or something along those lines. And I would say crypto is the same. It's a tool that the patient will use to take money off the impatient, because if you're not patient, you are going to lose, and you're going to lose woefully in a really, really bad way, right? And you could end up losing all your life savings and everything that you've worked hard to accumulate. So all of that to say, don't get scammed. Be patient. Buy, if you don't have the money to buy a lot, dollar cost average, buy a bit every month, whatever you can afford. A little can accumulate to becoming a lot. And that's actually what I'm demonstrating through the third wallet that I'm going to show you. And that's a nice segue actually into the third wallet. Don't be in a rush. If all you have is a little, then start with that. So let me just quickly give you the breakdown in this. So we have 16,000 roughly in Bitcoin, about 1,400 in Ethereum, about 600 or so in Solana, 400 or just under 500 in Cardano, and a bit in Sui. Nothing special. So as I was saying, there's a third wallet, and in this wallet, this is the one I'm using just to show what can still be done, even if all you have is a little bit. I typically buy between $10 to $200 worth at a time on this particular wallet. And when I started this wallet, if you go back to actually I was doing a separate series called Watch Me Grow My Wallet, my crypto wallet from nothing. But I decided to, condense everything into just this one journey to 100K. I may still from time to time just do separate videos on this, but for now, I'm condensing it into one. And when I started this wallet, it was around $200 if you go back to the first video. But now you can see that we're sitting at $2,400. And we've built that slowly. This journey started back in May 2025. Was it March? I think it was May 2025 I started doing this. And between May 2025 and at the time of recording this video, today is October 20, 2025. This is grown to 2,400. And you can see I'm only buying bits at a time. So let me show you Ethereum, for example, because I made some Ethereum purchases recently when the market dropped. You can see what I bought here was $200 worth on October 10. Prior to that, I bought $50 worth of Ethereum on August 3rd, right? So you can see they're not huge amounts. I'm just buying a bit at a time. And, this is an encouragement to you that if you don't have a lot to get started, start with what you have. If all you have is $10 a week or $50 a month, then start with that. You can still grow your balance and accumulate wealth gradually if you're not in a rush, if you're not trying to get rich quick. Look at this, $30 of XRP purchased on October 16th. Let's look at another one, $10 of XRP purchased on October 9th. So as you can see, I'm just doing it a bit at a time. and it's growing. It's gone from 200 to 2400 like we're seeing now, and we're doing it gradually. We're doing it month by month, bit by bit. So, you know, that puts us now, if we total everything, so that's 22 in the first wallet and about 18, just let's say 19 in the second wallet. So that takes us to 41,000 US, plus the 2,400 Canadian in here. So if we convert all of that to Canadian, that's roughly around $60,000 Canadian. The goal is 100K Canadian, by the way. So the first two wallets, they display the value of the wallets in USD, but this one displays it in Canadian. I am in Canada, so you know the goal is 100K in Canadian dollars. Maybe after we hit that, we might flip it to 100K in USD, and then maybe ultimately we once we hit 100K in USD, we may shoot for $1 million and just continue the series, right? So yeah, so that's where we are today. But the main thing I want you to go away with is, don't be in a rush. Take your time. Don't fall for those scams. If anybody's guaranteeing you a fixed 5% a week, 3% a week, you're going to lose your money. And there are other type of scams out there where they say, oh, you're renting a scooter, and you know, you send money to the platform to hold the scooter, and every day you power on your scooter, and all these different types of scams, and they'll be promising anything crypto related. If it's not like a staking, if you're not staking your crypto on a reputable exchange, if it sounds sketchy and the returns just sound too good to be true, then it's usually too good to be true. Stay clear of it. Buy your crypto, self-custody your crypto, have your private wallet or your exchange. I don't really recommend keeping too much on an exchange. Like this wallet is on an exchange. The other two, which are a little bit more money, they're in a private wallet. So, because exchanges, things can go bad, right? Like we saw with FTX. So, if it's a lot of money, I recommend keeping it in a private wallet, and then also learn how to self-custody safely. But ultimately, you want to be in control of your money, and you don't want to be giving it to a platform where, when it comes time and you need to make a withdrawal, they start telling you stories. So don't be in a rush. You know, be patient. Patience is a virtue, and if you can be patient, you will ultimately win. Okay, and have a long-term view, right? Don't be trying to get rich quick. Set yourself a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal. You know, if you buy Bitcoin now and hold it for 10 years, I think you're going to be way better off financially. I'm not going to say you'll be rich and be ready to retire, but what I do personally believe, and this is not me, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy or what to hold or what to sell, but I personally believe that if you can be investing in crypto, especially Bitcoin, over the next 10 or so years, I think your life will be better off financially in the long run in that process. So that's just my 2 cents for today. And that's, you know, this is another episode on our journey to 100K. We are getting there, you know, when we do this, even in USD, we're about $43,000 USD. And that's about 60 something thousand dollars Canadian. So we're not too far off from that 100K goal. You know, in crypto, you know, I've been able to do 100K like in real estate. But I really want to do it in crypto as well. And then maybe I'll set myself a challenge to do it in another type of investment. Maybe in stocks. Yeah. The next one will probably be in equities and stocks and ETFs. But let's hit this crypto one first. But yeah, that's the video for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to continue following the journey. If you've enjoyed the video, please also like the video, and leave me a comment in the comment section. How's your crypto journey going? How are your portfolios? Did the recent pullback in the market, did it scare you? Did it make you sell? Or did you stand your ground? You know, let's connect in the comment section. All right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one.